Welcome to Between Two Wheels, bringing you news and entertainment for things on or between two wheels. I'm your host, Johnny Roblox, and joining me, as always, is Uncle Ken. And we have a very, very special guest with us tonight. The one, the only, Rusty Bagger. What is going on?
What up? How's it going, guys?
What is going on?
Oh, man. Get some.
God damn childproof liquor bottles.
So that's what we need to do, Kim. We need to find you a whiskey sponsor who will send you like a whiskey of the month club type of thing where they send you out a few bottles, every quarter, and you get to try it on air every week. As long as you don't say the name of the brand or tell everyone what you're drinking, we won't have too many issues with demonetization.
Yeah, I'll be down for that.
It's just like shooting guns in a YouTube video. You can do it as long as you don't say you're shooting guns.
They're particle accelerators.
Exactly.
There you
go. God. So I went for my semi-annual heart stress test yesterday, and I tell you what, it was interesting. It took them about 45 minutes to find my heart. They said it did grow a little bit. Kind of weird. It's now the size of a pea instead of a peanut. I didn't know there's a difference in the size. But yeah, they said that the use of certain organic products that are inhaled through vape have significantly aided in my blood pressure dropping down to what they actually are saying is normal levels.
Hey, that's good.
Wow.
Sometimes nature can help.
Yeah, it's something that's kind of like CBD, but it has 3 other letters.
Yeah, different letters.
Yeah. Colorado, California, well, pretty much the entire West Coast. They know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, so the doctor said that, supplementing in that way has been very beneficial for my health. And me trying out this whole vegetarian diet thing has also been fucking beneficial.
That sounded painful to say.
Here's what kills me.
I mean, because I make some of the best meats around, so.
That's what she said. But, it's companies like the Impossible Meat Company or whatever the hell their name is, the actual company. They're going to make billions of dollars because they're making it tasty to actually eat healthy.
I mean, I've had they've got the Impossible Burger and the Beyond Burger, the two that
Freebirds has Impossible burritos.
Oh yeah, and look, I mean, I'm a meat dude, but they taste good.
Yeah, like the Burger King Impossible Whopper.
That's what we had for lunch.
It tastes just like a Whopper.
Yeah, it really does.
I mean, it's amazing. Now, what's interesting though is that it's just as bad as a regular Whopper, nutrition wise, but of course it's still meatless. So,
yeah,
I guess there's that.
I don't know. I watched this documentary, like The Cutting Edge or some shit, and it was eye-opening. And because I have cardiovascular disease, it showed a lot of the science around how it's actually good for you. So I'm like, well, shit. I hate admitting when my wife is right.
You don't have to.
She knows it though. When she's like, "Oh, hey, I'm stopping at Burger King. What do you want for lunch?" "Oh, I'll take an Impossible meal." She's gonna know something's up when I'm not getting the triple Whopper with extra bacon or whatever the hell they have. But that's what I'm saying. But this is actually a podcast or a live stream about motorcycle stuff. So let's run back to the motorcycle topic at hand, and that is you, Rusty. Where are you from, sir?
So I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee, good old South.
So that's the east side of the state, correct?
Yes. Yeah, that's the east side. I mean, we're maybe 30, 45 minutes from the, North Carolina state line.
Now, if I remember my not history classes, but my geography classes, Tennessee is the short, squatty state.
Yes.
Really, dude? You don't know? You got to be kidding, right?
Short, squatty, and italic.
Yeah. Okay.
It's right next to Arkansas, just north of Alabama and Mississippi and Georgia.
Hey, I remember what it looked like. I know where it's at. I can find it on a map.
Yeah.
South of Kentucky.
Yeah.
Questionably making better moonshine. Just saying. Home of Tell the Dragon.
We are good at that.
Okay, so technically, is the Tell the Dragon in Tennessee, or is it in the Carolinas?
It's in Tennessee, close to the end of it. When you get to Dills Gap Motorcycle Resort, that's when it hits the North Carolina line. And Dills Gap Motorcycle Resort is actually in North Carolina. Everything else is in Tennessee.
Okay.
That's kind of messed up. So North Carolina gets all of the tax revenue from all the bikers who stop there and buy a stupid sticker or a patch, instead of the state that all the riders are going through to get to the Dragon.
Yeah, I've never even thought about that. That's pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate, actually.
Okay, so you ride a bagger, obviously by the name Rusty Bagger. What kind of bagger do you ride?
So I've got a 2010 Harley Electra Glide Classic.
Okay, so the 2010s Classic, that's the one without the tour pack?
No, it's with the tour pack. So in 2010, I believe, mine's a 96. If it was a limited, it would have come with a 103. But it's a very stripped down version of, just a full touring bagger. So it's still got the tour pack on it.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a Harley Davidson. So you like your Harleys?
I love my Harleys.
You work for Harley, don't you?
I do, yeah. I work for a dealership in Maryville, Tennessee.
So you work for a dealership, not for Harley Davidson.
Correct, yeah.
So many people get that shit confused. They're like, "Oh, Roadblock worked for Harley Davidson." Well, yes, I worked for Harley Davidson. Rusty Bagger works at Harley Davidson. No, he works for owner of the dealership LLC is who he works for. That happens to be branded as Harley Davidson. It's just it's funny that people don't understand that. Well, there's still a lot of people who don't understand the difference between a dealership and the motor company.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean they're pretty much independently owned. Like, our dealer owns, Smoky Mountain, he owns Wildcat Harley Davidson up in London, Rocky Top Harley Davidson in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and all sorts of little outpost stores around the area as well. So he owns those, but we're licensed through Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So what do you do for them?
So I'm in marketing. I'm the internet marketing coordinator. So I do, all sorts of, pictures and videos, of bikes and events and rides. I pretty much just help anywhere I can, just promoting the dealership and all these rides and stuff like that. And just anywhere I can within the dealership.
So what you're saying is it's Smoky Mountain Harley Davidson is the one you're working at? So if their website, Instagram, or YouTube sucks, it's Rusty's fault.
Sure, yeah. Don't judge me on the YouTube page. We rarely upload there anymore, so don't judge me on that part.
So what else do you do there besides marketing?
So I'm a rider coach, a Harley Davidson riding academy coach. I've been doing that for about 3 years now.
And
Yeah, I do
how
have a
long
little
have
bit
you
on the
been
side.
riding?
I've been riding. I started out on dirt bikes, when I was like 3 years old. Kind of
yeah.
took a pause when I was around 15 to, 17 or 18, then got right back into it and haven't stopped since.
Chasing women.
Oh,
Cars. So do your folks ride?
yeah. So my dad, we got dirt bikes right around the same time. So I always used to ride dirt bikes with him. And then he got a 2008 Electric Glide Ultra Limited. And I used to ride on the back with him all the time. And I just got bit by the bug, so I really wanted to get one. And yeah, so they ride. I ride with them all the time.
So that's cool.
That's awesome.
My folks were I think the pretty typical American middle class family that says, no motorcycles under my roof.
Yeah.
See, I was lucky in that aspect. Like, I mean, if I'd have wanted to, they'd have probably got me a dirt bike or something like that. But I really didn't get into riding for quite a while. I mean, I had my one little instance on a dirt bike, and that was all there was for that, and that was in 8th grade.
So, I was a very strict rule follower. So when my mom said no, I couldn't have a motorcycle under her roof, I took it to my friend's shop and left it there.
Hey, following the rules.
I didn't own one under her roof. I owned it at my buddy's shop. Now, explaining a motorcycle accident to them when they have to come down there and sign for your release, that's a little bit harder to do. But I would digress. So you've been riding pretty much since you could stand a motorcycle up.
Pretty much. And
recently, we'll call it, you had an accident.
A slight one, yes.
And you were moving at something like a snail crap, just a super slow crawl speed, like under 10 miles an hour, right?
The most embarrassing kind of crash.
Okay, I know where you're going with this, Ken. No, screw you. I was showing off. And I dumped my bike up in Arkansas when we were messing around at a meet and greet at, was it Denny's Harley or something like that?
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm bringing these key points up because you are a highly trained instructor who made a mistake, had an accident, showed it to the world, which props for that.
Yep.
And you suffered because of a mistake you made.
Exactly.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about what you were doing and let's kind of walk us into the what and the why you were doing it. To kind of, because I actually have a point that I'm going to get to, but I'm trying to build the story up.
Right. Yeah. So what I was doing, I was off work. It was actually Memorial Day weekend. That Sunday, May 24th. I was at work in the back parking lot, just practicing what I coach. I was doing, figure 8 U-turns and, slow speed maneuvers and just all sorts of stuff. I do it all the time. And I like to take pride in myself. I feel like I'm pretty decent at it. So I was doing that. And I think a little bit, kind of a factor that went into it. I just changed out my rear shocks. They were 2 inches higher than what it was. I think that was a little contributing factor. But anyway, I was doing a U-turn to the left. I went around a couple times and I was trying to go as deep as possible. I started to scrape a little bit and I just went down, which I've done that, 2 or 3 times. No big deal. Pick the bike up, keep going. But this time I immediately felt a pain in my left foot. And I was like, oh crap. Okay. That hurt. And I actually stepped off the bike. I didn't fall to the ground. I stepped off the bike. I looked down and my left foot is just completely turned to the left. I'm like, okay, that's not good. So I fall to the ground. I noticed my dad was watching me. I waved him over there, and he came, and all these other people started to come and came to my rescue. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
So I think we have some kind of cosmic connection, and this is not in a homosexual way, but my wife and I were riding on a Memorial Day weekend.
Ah,
A mistake was made. I'm not going to say who made the mistake, because if you ask me, it was her. If you ask her, it was me. So the insurance paid me. Just saying. Anyways, she went down and it crushed her left foot.
Mm.
And she went through a lot of the same types of things that, as I've been following your story for this, I've been seeing, I was like, oh, I remember that type of visit, or, oh, yep, I remember this. So I was like, as soon as I saw your foot in the video that your mom or your dad, which I have to hand it to whoever was shooting the video, they did a good job for being your parent and still being
I was
able to
impressed.
keep the video as steady as it was. So mad
stable.
props
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah, stable in
Yeah.
frame.
My family, my family would have just lost the phone or the camera and just done nothing but just make noise. But so good point. Make sure you let them know. Between Two Wheels, mad props.
Yeah, they're watching now, so they
great.
Oh, right
heard
on.
that.
Well, hi, Mom and Dad.
So, but when I saw that, it literally, I had a flashback, and I rewatched it this morning, and I had that flashback of when Tracy and I had our accident. So I was like, damn. So
Yeah, not fun.
your foot was messed up. It's supposed to go, straight, and it was going like this. In essence, I have to ask. You bring up in your videos the fact that you were not wearing what would be classified as proper motorcycle footwear. Can you
Correct.
go into that and explain how this could have had a different outcome if you would have been wearing the proper motorcycle footwear?
Yeah. So, I mean, as a coach, I mean, we always kind of preach and coach our students to wear, proper over the ankle, sturdy footwear. And I've been one of those guys to where, when I'm coaching a class, that's what I wear. But for whatever reason, I've got pretty much all the gear on except, I want to have those, matching red Vans that match my bike. I've always wanted to be that cool guy. And it's not been a problem, but I was wearing those Vans, and kind of basically what happened, I've come to the conclusion that my heel got caught up against the hill shifter, and then my toes, the grip of the Vans just got caught with the pavement, and then my foot just went.
Yep.
I'm not saying that, if I was wearing the correct boots, the correct footwear, that I wouldn't have been injured. But, it's a good possibility because there was just no stability. There was no rigidity to my shoes at all. So, but yeah, I'm a big advocate in not wearing Vans and not looking cool on a bike like that. So
What about these? Can people wear these while they ride?
Ooh, I've seen them and it just makes me cringe. It makes me cringe.
But they're
Oh.
DOT.
Yeah.
Here they are.
Well, according to something I read online, all flip flops are DOT because of the rubber compound used in making the flip flop, or something like that. I don't remember. It was on YouTube, so it had to be accurate.
Absolutely, that's the gospel.
So I've had a similar incident when we went to Big Bend.
God.
And we were taking one of the decreasing radius turns to the right, going super fucking slow. I'm like 10 miles an hour, and that was the speed limit, and there's no mucking around. Had my wife on the back, and she decided to I don't know what she decided, but she shifted improperly mid-turn, and my toe got caught on the pavement. and it yanked my foot back. But I wear lace-up cowboy boots, steel-toe lace-up cowboy boots, and of course it hurt my ankle. Not like bad, like I need to go to the doctor or anything like that. But I couldn't imagine if I'd have had tennis shoes on.
Yeah, it's man. Like I said, I'm not saying that it would have been like a guarantee that I wouldn't have broke my ankle or injured myself at all. But the fact that I was wearing just no safety at all in those shoes. I often wonder, would it be different?
So the ones you have to wear, I think, are the Adidas clamshells. Those are okay, only though if you ride a Dyna.
Yeah. Shots fired.
I'm a dick. But
so as a rider's coach, did after the accident, did any of your regular customers that you taught to ride give you a lot of grief?
I mean, I've had a few, but honestly, I'm the first one to bring it up in a conversation that I was just straight up wrong. Luckily people just kind of feel sorry for me and they don't want to kind of rub it in my face, this entire time that, oh, you should have been wearing some boots, blah, blah, blah. But
that shit happens.
That's what happens when you have friends. They're nice. When you have family members like us, no holds barred.
Yeah. Family's different. Actually. I've had them, kind of go off on me a little bit.
I'm sure mom and dad had something to say.
Yep. Exactly.
What?
And they heard that.
What is hilarious is, what is it now, 2 years since the accident, and we still give Justin grief about it. I mean, it's just one of those things. It's been a decade since my wife had the accident, and
even Brad going down in the
on the Sportster. So it's just one of those things. As soon as you crash, you're fair game. And
pretty much.
To hang out with our group of friends, you have to have extremely thick skin. So some people just can't hang with that.
True story.
Okay, so the Bagger, was that your first motorcycle, like your first street bike?
Not this one. Technically, I guess my first one was a Bagger, but it was a 2005 Yamaha 650 V-Star.
Oh, okay.
And it had bags, so I guess technically it was a Bagger.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so as a riding coach, and people come up to you because they see you riding a Bagger, maybe when they show up to class, and they ask you, how do I know if a Bagger is the right bike for me? What do you tell them?
I mean, it's however you're comfortable. I mean, I've seen, like my fiance, she's about 5 foot. I've seen women like her handle a Bagger better than I can. So it just kind of, it's just wherever your skill level's at. Obviously, people taking the class, they're new to it, so they're just like, oh man, I can never handle something like that. Well, I used to not be able to handle something like that. So your skills are going to improve. Most of the time, I'll say, get a Sportster, get a street, even like a Street 500, Street 750. What we teach or what you learn on in the Riding Academy class. Get a Sportster. Get a Softail, get a Dyna. It's just kind of it's whatever you're comfortable with, really. You could always move up.
Yeah, I mean, my first bike was a Suzuki Katana. That was my first street motorcycle, and then I got rid of that, and then my next motorcycle was my Road Glide. I jumped right into it. Never ridden a fucking Harley, let alone a freaking big old Bagger. And I didn't even test drive it. Hopped on and fucking just took off and rode home. Called it a day.
That's
So
awesome.
none commented, I crashed wearing steel toe boots and stubbed my toe so bad my toenail turned black and peeled off.
I would have
mean-
rather had that.
I was just saying, if y'all haven't seen his video, it's not pretty.
Yeah, it's on my page. I uploaded it on my page, so go check it out if you haven't seen it.
Oh,
If you're not
absolutely.
for me.
So when I was in the Navy, we always would ask the question, why do I have to wear steel-toed boots? And we always asked the question to the saltiest chief we could find. And the most honest response I ever got was so that when your foot gets trapped in a steel door, it will chop off your toes and make it easier to get your foot out. That was probably the most honest answer
Wow.
I've heard. Because if you think about it, it's all about perspective. They're more concerned about getting your body out so they can seal up an area like for flooding or something like that. The steel toes just makes it a lot easier for them to get you out of there. Just chop off them toes. You don't need them.
I mean, you don't.
That's true.
I mean, they really just need to get you out of the way so they can keep working because you're fucking up everyone's day at this point.
But fair enough. I mean, when you're walking around steel toe boots, that shit sucks. I mean, I don't know, Ken. I don't know how you lasted walking around the Bring It Home rally or whatever you want to call it, the ride. All day, we're standing up, walking around. You're treating patients for dehydration, and
I mean, I've just wore fucking. I mean, I've been wearing lace up boots of some form or another since I was in high school.
yeah. As soon as I got out of the Navy, man, I threw my shit away.
And that's why my feet are all fucked up still to this day.
Yeah. Okay, so back to Rusty. So on your bike, you didn't buy it brand new. What all have you done to the bike? There's been a couple questions. What all have you done to the bike, and what did the bike come with?
The bike came with like everything, other than something done to the engine, which kind of ticked me off. But so tons of chrome. It's got a 21-inch front wheel, wraparound front fender, stretch bags. Let's see, extended side covers, ape hangers, stereo in the lids, all sorts of stuff. Basically, what I've done to it, the main thing I did was put a 2-into-1 D&D pipe on there, and honestly, that's kind of about it.
Sorry, one of our fans and former quick co-host, Toby Northern. Funny how Uncle Ken's tone is towards Harley Davidson. Live and let live, right?
Yeah.
It's Uncle Ken. He's like, live until I kill you. Okay, so you're riding on a 21-inch. Now, that's what the Screaming Eagle touring bikes have now.
Yeah.
You always hear a lot of folks saying, oh, the big wheel baggers are stupid this, stupid that. Do you, in your opinion, do you feel a 21-inch front wheel on a bagger is considered a big wheel bagger today?
Not today, no. No, I mean, if you get up into like 23 or 26, then obviously, yeah, you're pushing it. But no, not really, because like you said, the CVO Road Glide comes with a 21 from the factory, so I don't really count that.
The other side of that too, if you go back to the early 2000s, and I say this because I actually remember this, but all the Softails, all the FX Softails came with a 21-inch spoked wheel.
That's right. Yeah.
And so I'm just like, how is it that it's okay on a FX, but it's not okay on a FL to have a 21-inch? Now, I do draw the line at 24. So if you're 23.9 inches or less in diameter, I'm okay with that. But if you're 24 inches, damn it.
See, and
Cut off.
now, of course, nowadays, when someone says big wheel bagger, I think of those ridiculous freaking 30-inch wheels.
Yeah.
But that's ridiculous to us today.
Well, yeah, and who knows? 50 years from now.
Well, I'm hoping in 50 years from now there's no wheels at all. I yeah, I want a damn jet bike, hover bike, something.
Absolutely.
So I've watched a few of your Tell the Dragon videos.
Mm-hmm.
And one, thank you.
Oh man, I'm so jealous.
Putting that out there, it helps us who live in Texas actually understand what beauty looks like from these things called mountains.
Right.
The tallest mountain in Texas is like, I think, at an elevation of 800 feet, give or take.
Wow.
It's a border wall. That's our mountain. But someone built it on the wrong side of the border. It's on the Mexico side. You pulling up that picture, Ken?
The tallest mountain in Texas is Guadalupe Peak. The elevation of 8,751 feet above sea level in the Guadalupe Mountains National Park.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so this question that our good friend Toby come up with is actually a really good question. So, as a rider coach, in your observations, how does a 21-inch or larger front wheel affect a rider negotiating the box on the BRC2? Now, if you could help our viewers and listeners know, one, let's start with the acronyms, BRC, BRC2.
Yeah, so basic rider course 2, which is a skilled rider course. Pretty much the same thing. There are a couple of different exercises than the BRC, but the BRC2 is on your own bike instead of a training bike.
Yeah, and that's what most of the MSF advanced rider courses are made up of, correct? Or that's what it is. Much. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we know what BRC2 is, just your motorcycle safety course and advanced rider course. Now, what is the box?
So the box, it's pretty much just kind of a rectangle, but it's about a width of 2 parking spaces, and it's a little bit longer than that. But it's not a life-saving skill. It's just like, one of those convenient skills that you just, pull in a parking lot instead of having to, go to the target and, make a 20-point turn to try to turn around. You can just, whip it around. No problem. But as a coach, I've got the 21 and I can just about outdo anybody on anything else in the box. I take pride in myself in the box. So with my 21, I feel like it's pretty easy. Not to sound cocky or anything.
Okay. Hey, one of us was going to snap, but all this talking of the box, and then you take your pride with your skills in the box.
I can do it in the box just fine, better than most.
By the way, speaking of your skills in the box, congratulations on your engagement.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate that. She's watching, actually. So.
Oh, she's gonna think we're just nothing but pervs. Accurate. It's accurate. But congratulations. Is she?
Thank you.
How into motorcycles is she?
I mean, she wasn't into them at all. I mean, she met me. I told her real quick. Obviously I ride. It's a big part of my life, and. She hopped on not too long after we met, and she's got her own helmet. She's getting gear, so I mean she's into it now. Her sister, I guess I kind of influenced this, but her sister actually got a street 750, took the rider course, so she's on the road now. Okay.
Now, Jay, because he is just an awesome human being, he's calling out Gears and Gadgets to get something. I don't even know what it is, but get it on a shirt, because that's just hilarious. Because, brother, you need to actually start pimping out your merch. Sorry. Uh, 0 shirts sold. So you're, God damn it. Ken, you're muted.
So I got something to say. So back to the box. I've always considered the box more of a comfort thing and a get to know your bike exercise. You know, it really it helps me remember how my bike handles, like how I can maneuver it in a tight space. Don't put your
Right.
feet down. You know, it's a comfort thing for me, and of course, then to be able to do U-turns without having to, you know, do that 20-point
Yeah.
turnaround.
Or be 3
Yeah.
lanes over and trying to turn into the shoulder or into
Oh yeah,
the side.
yep.
So the Ben Effect has asked a question I'm sure we all get all the time. What would be a good beginner's bike to buy? Now,
ZX14R.
Ooh. Ooh, you can try it.
only if your wife has a really good insurance policy on you. A good beginner's bike, for me, I have 3 criteria. 1, the bike you can afford. And when I say afford, I mean the entire affordability scale, insurance, all of that.
Gear,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
So the bike you can afford, the bike that you feel comfortable sitting on. So if you are Uncle Ken's size, chances are you're not going to feel comfortable sitting on an 883 Sportster or a Honda Shadow.
It can be done.
It can be done, but it's not comfortable.
No.
So find something that you are comfortable with. I know a lot of Harley dealerships have the little, like the test ride setup thing where you go and sit on the bike and you can actually put your feet up, run through the gears, and it's sitting on like a little dyno wheel type of thing. But definitely go and have your salesperson, if you find a bike that you are attracted to and you want to see if you're going to be comfortable on it, try it out. I would suggest not going after a bagger at first, but if you can afford one and you can afford the repairs that will come with having being a new rider, then go for it. So that's my 2 cents. Rusty, what about you? What are your thoughts?
No, I mean, you nailed it. You know, as you know, working at a Harley dealership, obviously, you know, I want to, you know, steer everybody to ride a Harley Davidson, but you know, I realize, you know, Harley's a premium product. You know, it's expensive. I mean, even pre-owned ones can be pretty pricey. I mean, you can get a brand new, I don't know, Honda Shadow for what you can get a, you know, very pre-owned Harley for. So, you know, if you could afford doing a Harley, absolutely do a Harley. You know, there's a distinct brotherhood that comes with that. But if you can't, you know, go with a Honda, you know, go with a Suzuki, you know, one of those other brands that's a little, you know, cheaper, I guess.
Thank you, Larry. The jump start.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Alex is asking, Rusty, what suspension are you running on the bike?
So before my wreck, and I noticed Gears and Gadgets kind of called me out over there. But before the wreck, so I've got the Legend Revo A's, and they're the 13-inch ones.
Okay.
And aren't they glorious? Oh wait, you wouldn't really know.
No, they're amazing. Like the day before I wrecked, I uploaded the video of riding them on the Dragon, and it's spot on.
No,
That's the only thing I can remember, though. I need to ride after this to get reacquainted.
You've got Legends front and rear.
No, I just got the rear ones. I would love to do the front. It's a little stiff up there, but you know.
Yeah. I've got Legends front and rear, and man, as a big guy, woo, it's just glorious.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Uncle Kid and I are fans of the vest the club style vest and all that. And I've always wanted to customize one. And I was looking at First Manufacturing.
Yes.
And I saw you in their custom gallery. And I saw the vest that I'm guessing they custom made for you. Now, they've probably have never freaking heard of us, but I'm curious to know, what is your opinion of the quality and everything? Because I read the reviews, and there's a bunch of really good reviews, but you actually have one. What are your thoughts? And before you give us your thoughts, did they sponsor you with that vest?
Yes, they sponsored me with that vest.
Okay. But you're no longer under sponsorship from them, correct?
They gave me a reversion code. So basically, or however you say that. So basically, if you wanted to buy one, I can give you my code, and it can give you, like 10% off.
Okay.
But truthfully, I have not had any negative experiences with this thing at all. I've ridden it. I got it just before Adam Sandoval's Bring It Home ride, and I rode it, up until I had my accident, and it was amazing. The quality is like no other. They did. I'm kind of known for kind of the sticker bomb on my windshield, and up there. So they did that on the inside of it. It looks amazing. So I mean, they can do literally anything that you want them to do on a vest.
All right.
So I would definitely suggest them.
Oh,
Can
cool.
you and I, let's do a custom vest, or each of us will do a custom vest.
So your sticker bomb, did you just send them the design, or?
Yeah, I sent them the design. Yeah, and they just blew it up and put it on there.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, so I mean, you guys can get your logo nice and big on the back of it. I mean, it looked good.
Yeah, but then we get shot. We're repping an MC or something. Okay, so for those who do not follow Rusty Bagger on Instagram, may not know this, but you're walking around boot free as of today.
Yeah, just today, actually. Yeah.
So congrats.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But what has this journey been like for you? So how long has it been? And what are some of the things now that you've gone through, like kind of help us understand the surgeries and the recovery, things like that?
So I was supposed to go to Sturgis this year with my dad and, a couple other people. It was going to be the first time that I ever, went to Sturgis. And, right when this happened, that was literally the first thing that popped in my mind. I was like, well, there goes that. So, obviously, when something like that happens, it's a big downer. But anyway, I got to the hospital, x-rays, found out exactly what happened. I had to wait 9 days to have surgery. First of all, just because of COVID, and I had to wait for some of the swelling to go down. Yeah, it was felt like I was just wasting my time, but I wasn't. But it's taught me a lot. Like before this, all I was focused on was YouTube. All I was focused on was Instagram, and obviously I'm not the biggest out there. But that's just all I was focused on. And, it really allowed me to readjust my focus. And I got to spend more time with my family, my girlfriend. I went from breaking my leg and having this, terrible thing happen to, popping the question, becoming engaged, and now I'm planning all this stuff. So it's really cool to see, how God has kind of worked all this out kind of in my favor. Out of a sucky situation, all this amazing stuff has come to light, and allowed me to kind of readjust how I view things and all that.
So did the proposal come in after the little wreck?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. That was it was a few weeks ago. It was on the 16th. I was still in my boot, so it's really cool. My buddy actually snuck up there to Biltmore Estate and to grab some pictures, and I was wearing the boot as I proposed. It was pretty cool.
So before we go into gears and gadgets question, I just didn't want to lose it on the sidebar here. Um,
Yeah.
Shit, I just lost what I was about to say.
Oh man,
Oh, nope, gone.
no, there it goes again.
All right, so let's talk about the surgery, the recovery, all of that. Are you ever going to wear Vans while riding a motorcycle again?
No.
Just for the photo
can't do
shoot.
it.
Just for the photo ops?
Yeah, just for the photo ops. Yeah, you got to match. You got to get the matching red Vans for the photo ops.
So I knew a guy. He was a bike dealer. So he had a bunch of. He always was on different colored bikes. He always seemed to have a pair of All Stars, a pair of Chucks that matched every one of his damn bikes. I think the guy owned every color and pattern. He even had some of those really off the wall patterns, like all the Star Wars stuff and like Hello Kitty. And I don't know, maybe he's just a big Chucks fan, but so Gears and Gadgets is asking a question, and I think it's hilarious because we all know this guy. As a rider coach, what is the greatest self-righteous know-it-all who showed up and ended up doing the dumbest thing story that you have? What is something you can remember that Billy Badass, watched every episode of Sons of Anarchy 15 times and he's now a biker? What is that? What is a good story of that?
So that is a good one. I mean, I've had a lot of people that, all these like 50, even 60-year-old guys that have been riding for years and years and years. They think they know it all. They've been riding dirty this entire time. They want to get their license and they show up. They're the worst in the class. I mean, these guys wear all the leather. I mean, they've got all the Sturgis patches and all that stuff. And there was one guy, he was talking a big game, and one of the exercises, I forget exactly what exercise it was, but he got target fixation and basically ran into the fence, destroyed the bike. So yeah, that was probably the one that stands out the most. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously, you got to make sure they're okay. He was, but that kind of humbled him a little bit.
Oh yeah, because then you send them home.
Yeah. You kind of have to at that point. You're just endangering yourself and others. So yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not like you just you can't. When you're doing the stopping exercise, you stop and you forget to put your feet down. And you dump it. That's kind of understandable, but
yeah.
That
is very true.
So, Rusty, we have a question from Toby Northern again. Now, if you haven't checked out his channel, go over there, check it out. He's doing some good stuff there in Kentucky. But he wants to know, does the question that Gears and Gadgets asked include a rider coach showing up as the greatest self-righteous fill in the blank?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Hey, that's me.
So have you ever dumped a bike while showing, like doing a demo for a class?
Ooh,
yeah, no, luckily no. We're in coaching training. It's easy for us because we've done it so many times. So we want to do it as fast as we're comfortable, but we're trained to do it at the speed that a new student would do it. So we have to do it a lot slower than, the more skilled riders would. So luckily going slower. So we haven't had any issues like that, or I haven't.
Yeah. So are you ever able to strap up a GoPro and record the students as they ride and then be able to kind of cut that and create here's what not to do? I mean, they're all wearing helmets, and with COVID, are they wearing masks now?
No. We just encourage social distancing, of course, but
sure.
I don't think I don't think they do that. But I mean, it's a good idea. I just don't know how well MSF would enjoy that.
I mean, as long as you're doing it in a manner as to not to ridicule a specific person, but as a montage of here are 4 riders learning this. Here's what they did wrong. That would be the
Right.
big difference.
Yeah. I mean, that's actually a really good idea. I've never thought of that, but that would be a very good idea. A good learning experience for him for sure.
So, whenever you're doing your exercises and things like that, have you ever done like the keyhole exercise? Where you
I'm not
ride
familiar with
in,
that.
do the circle, then ride back out, and it's like a 21 or 22 foot diameter circle.
I think that may be in the skilled rider course.
Hmm.
And I don't coach that one. I took that one a long time ago, and obviously even I can't even remember what the exercises were.
So we used to do a motorcycle practice every Wednesday night when I lived up in Dallas. And it's just a parking lot. A guy I knew up there would put out a few hundred cones just in the parking lot. We'd weave cones, we'd do figure eights and things like that. Well, one of the guys that would come out there was a phenomenal rider. He would come out and set up a keyhole and then set up obstacle courses. Now, these guys were up there practicing for motorcycle rodeos. But that always interested me, and I could never get my bike to do the keyhole like they could. And I was like, oh, it's my bike's fault. And they hopped on my bike and went and did it like it was nothing. I was like, well, shit. But I was just curious if you've ever had to go through and try that and what your thoughts on that exercise.
Yeah, I can't remember if I have. I may have done that one, except I just don't know it by that name. I can't remember.
Yeah. And it may have other titles, but that's just what I knew
Yeah.
of it as. So, how long do you think someone should wait between taking the basic rider course and then going to go for their advanced rider course?
It kind of depends on how much you ride and how much your skills develop. Because I mean, if I'm coming in as like a new student, I just passed the rider course. We teach students to, like, this is your house. You need to start out riding right here. You need to go around and just slowly expand the circle the more you learn. So, man, I don't know.
So what you're saying is I did wrong.
It just kind of depends. I mean, technically speaking, I would say, I don't know, a good time frame would be a year just to get, a solid amount of practice and let your skills develop. I would say about a year or a one riding season, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, we always hear people, mostly people like us, seasoned riders, telling people, oh, when you finish the class, that means that you've certified yourself that you can ride in a parking lot. Can you expand on why that saying is accurate? Or dispel it completely and make us sound like asses? Either way, I'm okay with that.
I mean, a lot of the exercises, like we do 2 days on the course. The first day is, just really getting familiar with the bike. And some of the exercises are, stopping and braking at low speeds. And then the second day, you really get into, I guess, the parking lot maneuvers. I guess the box would be a parking lot maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some other ones like, the weaves and stuff like that are, those are real world situations. Because obviously if somebody slams their brakes on in front of you, you got to know how to swerve. You got to know how to weave around objects and road furniture. So it's not necessarily, that. I mean, there are some parking lot exercises, like I said, but, a lot of that stuff as well is real world, real scenario exercises. So it can be 50-50, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I would say braking and weaving are obviously top skills to really master. Because I mean, I've had my fair share of incidents where you got to know how to use those brakes effectively, and of course, swerving effectively.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of guys, well, guys, girls, whoever. The quick stop is the one that I kind of, dread. The first quick stop exercise, and 70% more braking power comes from your front wheel or your front brakes. So a lot of those people will just jam on their front brakes, and then they'll freak out, and then they'll wreck. So you really got to learn how to brake effectively, brake quickly in certain situations. So that's definitely, that's a big one.
Well, see, now we've got a linked braking, so that and ABS, so that's really saving our asses out there.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thankfully, someone asked in the comments, Jay, how much does a safety course save on insurance? Honestly, nothing. You won't notice it. They'll find another fee to tack on there, soak it up.
Yeah, I mean,
and the MSF course, or a recognized safety course, motorcycle safety course. It's good for 3 years for an insurance thing. But I think that 3-year renewal piece, when it comes to getting your discount, I think that's good, because as we continue to ride and as we continue to age, our reflexes are going to slow down. Our bad habits are going to get worse. So maybe it's a good thing to go spend $150, $180 every 3 years, as not as a insurance discount, but more as a refresher.
oh yeah, I mean, I can agree with that. It would hurt absolutely no one to go out and take the basic course again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
I've been riding for 20 plus years, and today I jumped on the MSF website and took their online motorcycle beginner rider test, their online test. And somehow I didn't get a perfect score. It's because
It's tricky.
We have bad habits. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we forget that our bad habits is not the way it's supposed to be done. We don't think of them as being bad to us. Anonymous biker, welcome, sir. You're only 56 minutes late, brother. It's okay. But hey, that's the end of our show. Thank you. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, it's funny because we stop thinking. I think it's just we get complacent as we ride, and some of us crush miles, and others probably need to go put our battery on a trickle charger. But yeah, as the miles go, I think it's important for us to go out there and refresh, especially those who don't practice regularly.
Yeah.
Like as a rider coach, you probably, you are going to be outside the norm here, but how often do you just go and brush up on your skills? Like just weaving some cones, doing some figure eights?
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, before this happened, I mean, I would get out in the back parking lot at work and just do it, every day or every other day before I left work.
I mean, that's how you wrecked. You were
practicing.
You were practicing your skills, and shit happens. Like you said.
Yeah.
Was it the shocks, or did just shit happen? I mean, because
yeah,
you were doing what you should have been doing, and that was practicing. Like everyone should, and like I should. I mean, I think the only thing that I practice the most is I do practice my emergency stops
and flipping off cars, kicking cars.
I've only kicked a couple cars, allegedly.
There's no official proof of that. It was probably edited out of the video.
But yeah, I mean, I practice my emergency stops in my neighborhood. I practice my weaving in my neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And then I practice the box whenever I can. So,
yeah.
I see what you did there.
I'm not going to live that one down.
Nope, because you're going to get a sticker from Uncle Ken and I that's going to be Between 2 Wheels.
Go play in the box.
No, we have to come up with something good. Expert of the box. And we have to put
We could all
box
do a
in
collab shirt
quotations.
together.
Yeah. Go practice in the box. You'll enjoy it.
Spend as much time as you can in the box.
They're endless.
Okay, so we are actually wrapping up, and we have to do something, and it's tradition, and it's the anti-shade tree surgeon questions. It's not because we're against shade tree surgeon. It's because he completely roasted my ass for asking these 3 questions. So, of course, we have to ask them to everyone now. So, question number 1. And you're not allowed to say riding boots, just so you know. What is one piece of riding gear that you never ride without?
I mean, wow, would a full face helmet count? That wouldn't really count.
Yeah, that's gear. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, full face helmet.
So you're a full face only type of guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is that to keep this looking pretty?
Oh yeah, you know it. I've been hit in the face with bugs too many times, and I'm done.
Oh.
So full face all the way.
Okay. So if money was not an option, if it was not a concern at all, what is the one motorcycle that you would absolutely have to own? And why?
I would have to go honestly with a road glide, like a performance bagger build. I rode Johnny Maz's. This is a 2019 road glide. I did a video on it on my YouTube channel, but it's 134 horsepower, 148 torque. I think it was a beast.
I saw that video.
So
shit.
Golly. I mean, I like baggers. Obviously, I've got one. I've been a Batwing guy. I never really considered the Road Glide or Shark Nose after riding his. I mean, if whenever the time comes for me to get a new one, I would seriously consider a Road Glide.
There you have it, folks. Another person that
Shark Nation, baby.
Shark Nation, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And then the final question. What is your number one bucket list ride? Location, style, whatever it is.
Oh man. I would just love to start out on the East Coast and just make a ride all the way to the West Coast. Just enjoy my time. If there's something I want to stop at, I'll stop at it. If not, I'll keep going. Just really no time frame. No, I guess, plotted out route. Just kind of a cross country trip, doing it however I wanted to.
Just kind of wing it along the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can get behind that. Yeah.
All right. So where can our folks find Rusty Bagger?
So
social accounts, all that good stuff.
Right. Yeah. Obviously YouTube. I'm on here, Rusty Bagger 24. And I'm on Instagram, and I have a Facebook. I just kind of signed up for one of those for the heck of it. So you can add me on there as well. But Instagram is kind of where I'm most active. I'm going to try to get back on. I've got a Montana trip coming up after that. I want to get back on the bike. So I'm going to do a YouTube video and start getting back on YouTube and being a little bit more consistent there.
I've purposely waited to ask this question to the very end because I think I've seen this question like 40 times. When will we see you on a motorcycle?
Yeah, I kind of answered it, but yeah, my Montana trip is September 4th through the 9th. I'll hit it sometime after that. I just really kind of want to gain confidence and gain some muscle back in my leg. Again, this is my first day not wearing a boot, so
yeah,
just kind of want to focus on that. It's taken everything within me not to just hop on it and go to work tomorrow, but I'll wait till that and we'll go. We'll go after that sometime.
I'm sure your wife will keep you in line.
Yeah, well, yeah, fiance. Heck yeah,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
will for sure.
No, you might as well say it, man.
Yeah, get used to calling her your
Get
wife.
used to calling her your wife, man.
Your better half.
Your better half. Yep.
There we
The
go.
smarter half. Yep.
Exactly.
The controller of the purse.
Yes,
Oh, and your testicles. Your testicles
Yeah.
will no longer be yours.
Yeah, it's gonna happen, man.
Hey, I'm hitting my 10-year anniversary this October, and it's been the best 150 years of my life.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
No, my wife is still my best friend. So, anyways, I do appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us. This has been a blast. I really appreciate. I'll tell you, you're more active in 4 hours on Instagram than we are in like a week.
Shit, a week.
So, but thank you again for coming on. I've been meaning to reach out to you, but I've purposely waited until after you kind of started moving around more because I wanted to hit you up right when the accident happened. But I was like, God, Ken will be such an asshole. Yeah, we have to space it out. Give it some time.
Yeah.
But
I'd have been high on pain pills. It wouldn't have been good.
Oh, that would have been a great show, actually. Rusty Bagger, high as a kite, between two wheels.
Look at my foot, guys.
Let's see if we do it again.
So this is what happened. I was on my bike and going to hell. But hey, for everyone who came out and joined us this evening and all the questions, and for those of you I didn't get to, either I just didn't want to ask that question or I didn't see it. This thing scrolls really quick on my screen. So for that, I apologize. But we'll go through the comments. If there's any questions we didn't get to, we'll try to answer those. But thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight. Be sure to hit that like button and the subscribe button, whatever the little bell thingy does. Go over to Rusty Bagger's channel, hit that subscribe button. Chances are you're already subscribed to him if you're watching us, but just in case, for those 85-year-old men out in Wyoming watching this right now, thank you.
There we go. Thank you, guys.